This is the plaintiff, Lisa Anderson. She says she threw an engagement party for her daughter at the defendant's catering hall, and she lost it big time when the cake was brought out and her daughter's name was misspelled. Not only that, the thing looked like it had been dropped because it was all cracked and broken. Nothing went right during the party, and she demands a refund of her $4,389.05. This is the defendant, Wendy Widman. She says she was horrified when she saw the cake's condition because it did indeed arrive cracked from the bakery. They wiped the woman's bar bill. We're told everything else was delicious and perfect during the party, and the woman certainly doesn't deserve a full refund and a free party. She's accused of cracking up a bride-to-be's mother.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Lisa Anderson, you are suing Marconi Manor, represented here by Wendy Widman?
Yes.
For $4,389.05, every penny that you spent on an engagement party for your daughter and her husband-to-be or husband?
Husband-to-be.
Husband-to-be, because they misspelled her name on the cake.
Correct.
Alrighty then, let's hear it.
Okay. We went there to make our final payment. We were picking out the food and the cake, and I told Isa, who was booking, I booked the party with.
Who's the person you booked the party with?
Isa.
Okay.
And I explained to her that, you know, my daughter's name has been spelled wrong throughout her whole life.
What is your daughter's name?
Keisha.
How do you spell Keisha?
K-E-S-H-I-A.
Okay.
And when she wrote it down.
The I is silent? So it's just Keisha or Keisha?
Keisha.
It's Keisha. The I is silent.
Yes.
And you want everybody to know that. Like,
yes.
You want everybody to assume that and get it right. Like,
well, we actually wrote it down correctly on the paper. She started to write.
No, I meant about the part how it's been misspelled, you know, all of her life. I remember when I was going to, I have 3 daughters, and when I was going to name my first daughter, we bought the baby book and we're reading the stuff. And I remember a whole chapter on if you're going to name your daughter something that is unusual, please be prepared to say through clenched teeth the rest of your life, it's Keisha, the I is, you know, that kind of thing. All right, anyway, so this has been, apparently this is a bone of contention with you. It drives you nuts.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this was her engagement party, and I wanted it done. I wanted everything perfect. Mm-hmm. And I told her how to spell it, and she wrote it on the paper, and she spelled it wrong, as I told her how to spell it. So I corrected her again. And I said, please, I really need my daughter's name spelled correctly. She says, if you spell it wrong, then the party's going to be on you and I get all my money back. She said, don't worry.
Okay.
It not only came out spelled wrong, but all broken.
Tell me about what happened.
It first came out, it wasn't cracked when it came out. It was the person who was moving, because she saw it when it came out. She saw it was spelled wrong, but she saw it was perfect.
Right.
When they were handling the cake and moving it around, every time they moved it, it broke and it broke, and this is what...
Let me see.
Thank you.
Ooh, did you have a new person wheeling that cake? What was that deal about?
They carry the cake, Your Honor.
Well, then what the heck? Why was the cake cracking?
If you read one of the waitress's statements, she'll tell you that picture was taken after the cake was cut.
After it was cut.
After it was cut, the cake's intact.
But that's not a whole cake. That's not a whole picture of the whole cake.
I don't care if the cake is cut. Cutting the cake will not cause it to crack like that. That's abnormal.
It was a whipped cream cake, and sometimes they do that in the summer months. We didn't get a chance to try to fix it.
I've eaten a lot of cake. I live in Florida. It's hot. I don't get what you're saying. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, you're actually trying to weasel your way out of responsibility on the cake being cracked? Come on.
I said that when I saw that picture the next day that I was mortified.
Okay, well, but now you're saying, well, read the statement from it's because this is fabricated evidence. This is after the cake was cut. Like, that has a bearing on this. Come on.
The cracks might have been worse after the cake was cut.
Why? If I cut this part of the cake, why would that part of the cake crack? It shouldn't crack at all. It should all be cohesive. It should be a cake. And we're not even getting to the part about why is her name misspelled. What happened?
I ordered the cake exactly the way it's spelled. You have, I believe, a copy of the
I do.
sheet.
I see that the bakery you subcontracted this to
spelled it wrong.
Okay. Now, who in your place, Isa, come on, is it Isa or Isa? Isa, who at your business receives the cake at, what time's the party?
7.
7. So what time did the cake come?
Probably around
3 or so. Okay, who receives it at 3 and doesn't double check to see everything's perfect and that the names are spelled right, especially with an unusual name that's going to be spelled wrong all your life, right? People are constantly spelling it wrong. In fact, you say this is such a pet peeve with you that you've thrown out her awards that had her name spelled wrong. Are you serious, or were you just doing that for a fact?
I'm serious.
Come on up.
My high school diploma was spelled wrong. I had to go back to my high school where I went for 4 years. I had to go back and have them reprint me a new diploma.
I don't blame you for doing it, but did she rip up the diploma in anger, or did she throw out that award?
I just went back and had them from new.
So who receives it at 3 and doesn't double check?
one of the staff receives it and they check it to the label that's on the cake from the bakery.
What good does that do? That's ridiculous. Is that your policy, or that person goofed?
Probably the person
Goofed, right? Because you need to fix that. They need to know that the name they sent, okay, is the name that was received.
Correct.
Okay? All right. Now, that's silly and that's bad, but do you really think that you're going to get every penny you paid for a party that you got back over the misspelling of Keisha's name on a cake?
No, I didn't expect to get every penny back.
'Cause that's what you're
I
suing
said
for.
to her. Well, that's what I said to her, and that's what I asked her. I just wanted you to know that's how serious I was. That's how adamant I was with her. I want my daughter's name correctly, or the party's on you and I get my money back.
What was your reaction when you saw that the name was spelled wrong?
Oh, I got really upset.
What'd you do?
I went and found the woman in charge, and I was upset.
What'd you do?
I yelled and I screamed and I said, "This is absolutely unheard of. How could you spell her name wrong? You promised me it was going to be right." And I just got really upset. We left the room. We went into the office, and I was in the office with her, and she was apologizing, and I was just really, really upset. I was really, really upset.
And welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, should the defendant have to pay for this cake since you got the spelling wrong?
No, I think it was an error on both sides, though.
Well, it was an error, but the question is the mother responsible for naming her kid a screwy name?
No.
Really?
No.
Does it bother you that parents are doing this now?
Kind of. I mean, they don't have to be trying to make their kids like individuals, like really individuals. They don't have to do that.
Does it not just tick you off?
Sometimes it does.
Drives me crazy.
It's kind of annoying.
Crazy. Going inside the courtroom.
Did you see your mom upset or no?
I was upset myself.
Come on up.
Sorry. I went and found him myself, and I was upset that my name was spelled wrong because it's my one and only engagement party. I'm not planning on having another one.
Come on up here.
And I went
Come
and found
on up.
him.
Yeah, don't plan to have another one. That's a good plan.
Sorry,
So wait,
cry.
what's your name? Rob?
Rob.
Oh, wait, let me look at the cake. Is it right, Rob?
Yeah, Rob.
Rob, what do you think about all this? Does this frighten you? I mean, seriously, like just between you and I, nobody else is listening. Seriously, like, does this not frighten you just a little bit?
I just knew how important
don't
it was.
answer. My advice to you, my advice is not to answer me. Go ahead and chill and have a seat, my friend. All right, what was the when you heard about what happened? How did they describe her reaction to the?
Barbara and Helen both said that she was up in Helen's face, but Barbara had to get between them. And she told Helen that she's lucky. Her friends can't believe she hasn't punched her in the face yet.
Because they know the way
Right.
her temper is, I guess.
Right.
Do you have a bad temper? Okay. What did you guys do to try to make this right?
Helen said that she, tried to apologize and explained, and they were running a cash tab for Miss Anderson and a few of her friends, and it was over $100, and she would give that to her in place of the cake.
How much
as
did
an
the
apology.
cake cost?
I think it's $55. You should have a copy of the bill from the
And what did why don't you have here the person who was there that night?
Helen's in the hospital.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That's a very valid reason for why you don't have her here. And do you have an affidavit from her?
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you also like the copy from the bakery? Price of the cake?
The one that you probably shouldn't use anymore? Yeah. How long have you been using that bakery?
Probably I'm there 15 years, so
Oh, the whole time?
yeah.
So what went wrong? Like, did they?
You know what? They're usually very good.
Something went wrong. I mean, I don't even mean the misspelling. I mean the cracking of the cake and stuff. I mean, that same daughter went to a very small elementary school, and every birthday month they would celebrate. They let the parents bring a cake, and so it was Christy and Teddy. And the cake came back Cece and Freddie. And for years, the kids would call our kids Cece and Freddie, just to tease them. Okay. Did they, in fact, pick up the tab?
Well, I don't understand how it could be over $100.
Do you have the tab?
No, I don't.
There was only my daughter,
How do I know it was
her
$100?
fiance, and my boyfriend.
They just keep a tally.
They do, but I am not they. I'm not there, and I don't trust they because I don't have they here to cross-examine.
Right.
So I demand if you're telling me, Judge, we settled it by they had a $100 tab. Let me see it. How much are the drinks there? How many people were on the tab? You know, give me some details. You don't have the person here. Is it in this affidavit?
I don't know.
Okay, let's find out. She appears to have had a lot to drink and was extremely angry and loud. I apologize for the staff putting the cake out before we had a chance to do something about it. I guess the crack. Asked her to come into the office where we could work together. I showed her that our work order was correct.
She did.
I apologize. Her main concern was a spelling. It says I offered her the bar tab for mixed drinks that she and her friends had been ordering, which was approximately $100, and drinks for the rest of the party. At that time, she calmed down and accepted. Talk to me about that. Did you have a good time after that?
Well, sure. I had.
Okay.
I mean, it ruined. We didn't do no cake cutting. I came back. When I came back, the cake was gone. They took it in. They cut it. Said something to my daughter. Well, what do you want to do? Should we serve the cake or not? Well, I mean, what are we not going to cut the cake and serve it? I mean.
Okay. So the cake gets cut, the cake gets served, and a good time is had by all. But you want me to order her to pay you back $5,000 after you did agree that night that, oh, by the way, did you order any more drinks after that? Because the party went on after that.
Everybody was paying for their drinks. I don't know where they come up with all this. Everyone was paying.
They don't say that it's the whole party, although she says that she offered for the whole party to have drinks after that.
Well, no.
Okay. But in any event, was you guys had a tab with your intimate people, and did you have any more drinks after that?
I wasn't.
Why
on
wouldn't you
the
have any
tab.
more drinks after
I
that? How
wasn't
much
on
more of the
tab.
party was left?
After that, I was upset. I had everybody coming up to me.
I'm sorry, we're done, okay? Because this is really, I don't mean to belittle your concern, but it's now getting to be ridiculous.
weren't drinking
If you
anymore.
guys can't cope with this, I don't think you should have children. Okay? Because life is filled with tiny little disappointments. And this is one of the tiny ones. This is what we call sweating the small stuff to a degree that I have not seen in I don't know how long. Look, you guys botched it, all right? And when she tells you the one thing I care about is this, I don't care if the one thing she cares about is crazy or not to everybody else. It's the one thing she cares about. She's paying you a lot of money for that party. So frankly, you guys dropped the ball and it's embarrassing for you, okay? But by the same token, this is the kind of thing in life where a little problem comes your way and you say, can you believe it? And then you call her Cece and Freddie for, and you make light of it because life is filled with such much more grave problems than a misspelled name on a cake. Now, I'm not going to tell you that you don't have a right to be upset when you're upset. I'm not going to tell you calm down while you're upset because when people do that to me, because I wig out, as you can see, about certain things, I don't want to be told to calm down. I want to get service. I told them what to do. I don't blame you for getting mad. I don't blame you for walking in there. I don't blame you for negotiating a bar tab, whatever it is that you're. But coming to court to make this like the case that it is, like it's like the disgrace of a century of a breach of contract, it's a misspelled name on a cake, folks. You really need to roll with the punches a little bit better than this, especially when you choose a name that is going to, this stuff's going to happen. Awards don't need to be thrown out. I would go back and get my diploma fixed just like you did. But, things like this are just going to happen. I don't blame you for being angry, but making a $5,000 case out of it, not on my watch. Okay, I find that this case was negotiated that night by the bar tab, and I find in favor of the defendants.
So it was just one of those things and not a $4,000 plus lawsuit. Step right in here. Well, how do you feel about that? Come on over. Your reaction to the you lost this case.
Yeah, I expected it, but I was
to lose the case.
Yeah, I didn't expect them to give me back all my money. I just wanted them to know how pissed off and how let the world know Marconi Manor isn't the best place to have.
You think you made more out of it than needed to be made out of it?
Oh, I maybe exaggerate, I did carry on a bit, but
All right.
you know what? I asked for one thing and I couldn't even get it.
That's this man right here. Big question for you. You do know how to spell your fiance's name, right?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, spell it.
Keshia.
Is he right?
Yes, he is.
Okay, right down this way. All right, good job. Good job. That was big. All right, step on in here. What happened here? What are you doing in court?
It was an accident. Unfortunately, it happened.
This kind of thing happened to you in your business?
It happened.
I know it happened. What is it, a bridezilla moment? Is this a bridezilla moment or is it your fault?
Not only does it not happen often, but when she sent in her little complaint, she spelled my name wrong. She's so serious about spelling names. My name is completely spelled wrong.
Yeah, how do you spell your name?
Aixa.
Harvey?
So if there's like a really important item in a contract that's like a deal breaker for you, you should create what's called a liquidated damages clause, which means if they violate that clause, you automatically get a set amount of money for the mistake. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.